guys, what's going on? My name is Louis, and God bless to every single one of you. So we have multiple breaking news coming out. We're going to start with this one first. The US commander warns Iran will no longer exist if the sleeping giant decides to escalate. Alright, so Donna's putting out a warning, a very powerful warning. At the same time, the U.S. launches additional strike on Persia as Donald gives ominous warning. So we're going to get to all this. Donald put out a statement. We're going to read that. At the same time, Persia, well, the Persian military has announced the sleeping giant bases will face hell in the coming days. Persia has already launched ballistic at the sleeping giant military bases in Kuwait and Bahrain tonight. The ceasefire agreement on the brink of collapse. Things are not looking good. Once again, Donald threatened to wipe Persia off the face of the earth. Alright, we're going to see what's going on with this one here, guys. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Once again, thank you so much for your support, guys. I really appreciate it. So Donald put out this message. The sleeping giant aircraft just struck Persian missile and drone storage locations and coastal radar site for violating the ceasefire agreement again. It is very possible that they will never learn. There may come a point when we are no longer able to be reasonable and will be forced to militarily complete the job that we very successfully started. If that happens, the Persian military will no longer exist. Alright, so DJT is putting out a very, very powerful message there. DJT is putting out something very powerful. So once again, Donald threatened to wipe Persia off the face of the earth. We're gonna go with some of these other news here, guys. We got a breaking news update. 68,900 missing in Venezuela earthquake. Families tell Venezuelan Gov 1,430 gone, 3,238 injured. Excuse me. Almost 69,000 missing. This number is going to reach the 100,000. This is going to go down the history books, guys. We are definitely sending prayers to many, many families and friends that lost their loved ones. Alright, we're going to skip this one here. Okay, so we got some breaking news. A lot of people receiving some text emergency alert. It says here the sirens has been sounded due to a hazard. We urge citizens and residents to remain calm and proceed to the nearest safe location. Avoid obstructing main roads unless necessary for public safety, and we will provide further guidelines later to ensure everyone's safety and security. Again, Bahrain sirens are wailing again, the second alarm of the night over the Gulf state. Bahrain Interior Ministry says the alarm sirens has been activated again, urging residents to head to the nearest safe location. It follows the Persian claim it fired drones and ballistic at the U.S. 5th Fleet at Port Salmon in Manama. Now, the barrage answers 2 straight days of U.S. strike on Persia coast. Now, Persia is reminding the sleeping giants, we control the strait. The sleeping giants is telling Persia, no, you don't control nothing. So things are not looking good between these two. Okay, so we got a breaking news going on in Europe. Is Black Friday going on? People going nuts and stuff, grabbing all the fans. But it says here Paris is in full meltdown mode. A home appliance store turned into total chaos as people pushed and fought to grab the last fans and portable air conditioners. And I've seen a lot of videos, guys. People just grabbing fans, AC. I mean, it's just, yeah, so people just grabbing all these stuff, fans, and, you know, and there was reports that street lights have melted. If that's the case, then those street lights is made out of plastic. Again, metal melting like that, it just, I don't know. And there's been reports that birds are falling from the sky. We're talking about small little birds just falling because of the heat. Alright, so let me show you some of the stuff here, guys. We got some more news. We got this news that's coming out. Turkey's interior minister vowed to liberate Jerusalem and return it to Turkish hands. Alright. Definitely seen some stuff here. Donald reveals new images of passport displaying his face to mark America's 250th. I don't know why he put his face first. It should be the founders on the left side. They come first. Donald should be like at the very last page. I got a passport and geez, I forgot how mine looks like, to be honest. But again, I got the founding fathers and all that. But I think this one here, the founding fathers should have been on the left side. And Donald should have been at the very last page. But again, Donald always want to be the first one. All right. Let's see what's going on with this news. So Donald warns Persia will no longer exist. Okay, so those are fighting words. They need to take it easy. The Donald said that Persia would no longer exist if the sleeping giant is forced to resume the biblical war, as he accused Persia of violating a cease plan. The threat came after the sleeping giant forces said they struck multiple Persian targets in another tit-for-tat response to strike on shipping in the vital strait of... Give me a second, the strait. Give me a second here, guys. I kind of missed something here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this one here, I gotta bring it up. You got multiple states declaring emergency really quick here, guys. At least 37 wildfire are burning across 12 states. 12 states are getting hit. They are getting hit. They are saying that this could spread to others regions as well, including what is being called the most destructive in Utah history. All right, so 12 states are getting hit with these massive wildfire. We're gonna get to that one. Just wanted to bring that up. So once again, Donald said that Persia would no longer exist if the sleeping giant is forced to resume the biblical war, as he accused Persia violating a cease plan. Now, the warning came after the sleeping giant forces said they struck multiple Persian targets in another tit-for-tat response to strike on shipping in the vital strait. Now, the U.S. aircraft just struck Persian missile and drone storage locations and coastal radar sites for violating the cease plan agreement. Again, Donald wrote on Truth Social. Now, there may come a point where we are no longer able to be reasonable and we will be forced to militarily complete the job that we very successfully started. If that happens, the Persians will no longer exist. The Persian military will no longer exist. Now, the clashes brought new tensions to the negotiating process meant to end a biblical war launched by the sleeping giant in Holy Land at the end of February. Now, they also underlined the risk still facing one of the world's most important sea lanes for oil and other commodities. Now, CENTCOM said that the latest strike were in response to Persia drone strike on the Panama-flagged oil tanker, which was carrying some 2 million barrels of crude. Now, the Holy Land, the U.S. military said the response targeted surveillance infrastructure, communication system, air defense sites, drone storage facilities, and mine layer capabilities. Now, Persian media reported several explosions in the Sirink and Kems areas of southern Iran. All right, so these two going back and forth is going to escalate. It's going to get really hot. Now, previously, the sleeping giant also conducted strikes that is said were in response to another Persian strike on a ship, the Ever Lovely. Now, Persia said it had hit sleeping giant targets in the Gulf, so the U.S. got hit. They got hit. Persia said it had hit sleeping giant targets in the Gulf in its own retaliation. Bahrain said it was targeted by several Persian drones early on Saturday. Local time accused Tehran of sabotaging peace efforts. Now, it says here the Persian military, the guard, said that if the aggression is repeated, our response will be broader. Now, Holy Land launched strike in Lebanon, and Hezbollah leader Naim I'm gonna skip that name, rejected a deal to end the conflict, which has also threatened to derail the wider sleeping giant Persia peace effort. Now, Persia called these brutal strike a blatant violation of the interim truce deal. All right, so I'm just gonna skip the rest of this, but you guys get the picture here. All right, so we already know a lot about Lebanon. But, yeah, so the Dawn is sending a message. Now I want to go with Persia. Persia's saying that something big is coming in these next couple of days. Alright, let me see. I want to bring this up really quick here, guys. So you have the IRGC, Persia Navy Command, explicitly warned that the sleeping giant military bases in the Gulf region will experience hell in these days. The declaration followed a massive breakdown of a 2-week-old ceasefire agreement, sparking direct military exchange between the sleeping giant and Persia. So these two are really, really going at it. Give me a second here. Persia says sleeping giant bases in the Gulf to experience hell in the coming days in response to strike. Let's see what's going on with this one here. So this was posted 3 hours ago. Reuters put out the information. Persia military issued a warning that the sleeping giant bases in the Gulf region will experience hell in the coming days. Persia launched multiple missiles and drones towards neighboring countries, including Bahrain and Kuwait, a sleeping giant official told Reuters late on Saturday. Officials, speaking on condition of anonymity, said that the situation was still unfolding, but that there were no reported U.S. casualties or major impact or damage to Sleeping Giant facility in the Mid-East at this time. Mm. Persian Revolutionary Guard Corps announces strike in Kuwait, Bahrain in response to Sleeping Giant strike. Once again, Persian Navy and Air Force. I thought Donald said that the Navy were taken out, completely wiped out. Persian Navy and Air Force launched a joint missile and drone operation in Kuwait and Bahrain in response to recent Sleeping Giant strike, Tasnim news agency reported. Man, things are not looking good, guys. I got a feeling that this siege plan is just not going to survive. Alright, so we're going to go with the next news here. Alright, what are your thoughts, guys? Leave comments down below. 68,000 missing Venezuela earthquake. 68,000. And people need to know, too, that some of them are Sleeping Giant citizens. A lot of people don't know that, but some of them are Sleeping Giant citizens that are trapped as well. So Venezuela Gov has confirmed that families have reported at least 68,900 missing following a devastating doublet earthquake disaster. A shallow of 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck northern Venezuela, followed just 39 seconds later by a massive 7.5 magnitude trembler. The disaster has primarily devastated the coastal state of La Guardia and areas surrounding the capital, Caracas. Man. We are definitely sending prayers to many people out there. Alright, let's go with Turkey. Turkey is playing a huge role of Bible prophecy. Alright, so they've been part of these biblical wars since the Old Testament. Even during the times of First King and Second King. Again, you had the Assyrian, you had the Babylonians and all them. And Hezekiah, one of the last good kings and stuff. Again, when you had men from Babylon came, and Hezekiah showed them everything that was in the Lord's temple, and they laughed. And prophet Isaiah asked Hezekiah, who were those men? Those men come from Babylon. And Isaiah's like, everything that they saw will be taken. They will come back and they will take everything. So again, you had Turkey, Babylon. Well, back then it was not named Turkey, it was another name, but Babylon, like Assyrian, the Assyrian in the Old Testament. Right now, I think it's northern Iraq, the Assyrian. All right, so Babylon, again, those are like the Iranians and all those Mid-East countries and stuff, Afghan and all them. All right, so it says here, according to a report from the Times of Holy Land, Turkey Interior Minister Mustafa has issued a bold call for the liberation of Jerusalem, declaring that the city will one day return to Turkish sovereignty. Now, a lot of people believe that New York is the mystery of Babylon, or America is the mystery of Babylon, which, again, the mystery of Babylon is a city, not a country. But here's the thing. A lot of people they have this mentality that end time is about America. No, it's not. Again, scripture talks more about Holy Land. All right, from the very beginning to the very end. I do believe a lot of people, again, have different interpretation. But Jerusalem, I believe, is the mystery of Babylon, the great city. That great city. That great city that will be burned with fire. There's been Um, Again, the great city that have seen many, many walk into that city. Jesus Christ walked into that great city. I mean, you had even King David, so many prophets. Now, again, there was a lot of uh, that were taken out. Even Jesus was crucified not too far from that great city. Now, again, it cannot be New York. So it can be New York. Again, New York has nothing one on one with Jerusalem. New York is not even close. New York has not seen history like the great city in the Holy Land throughout the Old Testament. All right, so it says here the provocative remarks delivered during a speech at a ruling AKP party conference have triggered an immediate and forceful response from Holy Land officials, highlighting the deep tensions between the two nations. Now, speaking on June 6, 2026, in the central Turkish city of Karakum, I'm gonna skip all that, framed his vision as part of a broader pattern of regional shifts favoring Turkish influence. Now, he drew parallels to recent events, positioning Jerusalem as the next target in what he portrayed as a divine and historical mission. Just as we witnessed the liberation of Damascus, Aleppo, and Karabakh, God willing, one day we will also witness the liberation of Jerusalem. Now, he went on to recall his personal prayers for leadership over the holy city, stating, I will believe that the Almighty will show us those days. But the Almighty stands with the Holy Land, Turkey. Remember that. It says here the minister referred the fall of the Assad regime in Syria in December 2024, supported by Turkish-backed forces in Azerbaijan in 2023. Action in Nagorno-Karabakh. Now, he expressed confidence in Turkey's future dominance, attributing it to a strong national leadership. Because we have a global leader like Turkey's president Erdogan at our helm, he said, a world leader vowed that lands once under the Ottoman rule would once again fall under Turkish sovereignty. Now, Holy Land responded swiftly and sharply after this person shared a video clip of his remarks on social media. The Holy Land Foreign Ministry dismissed the comments outright, urging the Turkish official to face reality. Uh-oh, man. Holy Land and Turkey. Holy Land and Turkey. Now, the corrupt Ottoman Empire is gone forever. The ministry stated, Jerusalem shall remain the eternal capital of Holy Land forever. Ooh. These are biblical. These are biblical stuff here. Wow. Defense Minister Holy Land Katz issued a pointed rebuke in Turkish, rejecting any notion of Turkish control over Jerusalem. Jerusalem has been the capital of the JEWS people for 3,000 years and will remain Holy Land capital forever, he declared. Wow. Man, I can feel, again, this is all Bible prophecy. Now, Katz warned that attempts to revive Ottoman ambitions will fail, noting that the Holy Land has repeatedly demonstrated its strength in defending itself against warning. He also criticized Turkey's direction, contrasting it with the modernizing legacy of Mustafa. Now, the exchange underscores the sharp deterioration in Holy Land Turkish relations. Once close allies, the countries has seen ties plummet in recent years, particularly following the, I'm going to get that name there, October 7, 2023, and the ensuring the biblical war in the Strip. Once again, Turkish leader Erdogan has been among Holy Land fear, fear, fiercest international critics, while Turkey has hosted the Hamas figures and halted trade and flight with Holy Land. Man, these were some very, very powerful stuff here. The Holy Land had to remind Turkey, just remember, we have, again, this is ours, and it's been ours for 3,000 years, and you ain't taking it. Alright, guys, I'm just gonna skip this one here. It's just Donald face on the passport. So, oh, I want to thank every single one of you. One of my videos, for some reason, is blowing up. I don't know if the algorithm is being nice to me today, but one of my videos is almost at 15 or 20,000 views. Hey, I really appreciate it, and I don't know how that video is getting views. Look, I was hoping it was this video, because this video is also gaining views, and it's over my third channel, the Prepper Watch News. We almost at 19,000 subs. I mean, man, we are growing in that channel. Thank you so much for that, guys. I really appreciate it. So, again, this is the video that I posted, but this is not the one that's trending. But check out the video. This link will be in the comments box. Chilling prediction from 1997 claim a crisis that will reshape the sleeping giant peak this year in 2026. The one that is growing... where is he? Oh, is this one here? This one's almost at 15 or 20,000 views. So Target implements new point-based attendance tracking system for store and warehouse staff. This is the video that's trending. It's trending, believe it or not. Like I said, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Is that Joe? Joe! Man, we haven't seen you in a while. Joe and Donald. It's not just his vanity project putting his name on the Kennedy Center, building an arc in his own honor, even hiring his own pool guy to fix the reflecting pool. Whoa, what a lose. Okay, Joe. I don't know why he's... Again, he needs to... stay home, watch the Golden Girls. Alright, guys. So, once again, like it's mentioned with the 5 states. Yeah, so... at least 37 wildfires are burning across 12 states. That is huge. That is very concerning. Yeah, that is, this is very concerning. At least 37 large wildfires are actively burning across 13 states, 12 states, fueled by extreme heat wave, record low humidity, and fierce winds across the western U.S. The escalating crisis has prompted federal authorities to raise the nation to National Preparedness Level 3, deploying thousands of wildland firefighters to battle the blaze. All right, once again, Utah has emerged as the hardest hit state, forcing Governor Spencer to declare a state of emergency as the state faces one of its most aggressive fire season in memory. Wow. 92,000 acres. You do have Nevada, Arizona, and New Mexico. You got multiple states. So we are definitely sending prayers to many people out there. But I'm just going to end it here, guys. But I want to thank every single one of you for tuning in. Thank you again for your support. And please continue to pray for each other in these tough times that we are living. We are seeing Bible prophecy happening in our times, especially with Venezuela earthquake. A lot of shaking going on. So again, please stay in prayers. Pray for me and I pray for you. And yeah, have a good night. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the videos I posted today. The links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Till next time later. Peace.